Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nasta Prayeshu Bhareshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastiki. Today we are reading from Canto 8, Chapter 22. Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. Text 13 through 24. Text 13. Then Bali Maharaj saw his grandfather Prahalad Maharaj, the most fortunate personality, whose dark body resembled black ointment for the eyes. His tall, elegant figure was dressed in yellow garments. He had long arms, and his beautiful eyes were like the petals of a lotus. He was very dear and pleasing to everyone. Text 14. Beyond bound by the ropes of Varuna, Bali Maharaj could not offer befitting respect to Prahalad Maharaj as he had before. Rather, he simply offered respectful obeisances with his head, his eyes being inundated with tears as his face lowered in shame. Text 15. When the great personality, Prahalad Maharaj, saw that the Supreme Lord was sitting there, surrounded and worshipped by his intimate associate like Sunanda, he was overwhelmed with cheers of jubilation. Approaching the Lord and falling to the ground, he offered obeisances to the Lord with his head. Text 16. Prahalad Maharaj said, "My Lord, it is your lordship who gave this Bali the very great opulence of the post of heavenly king, and now, today, it is you who have taken it all away. I think you have acted with equal beauty in both ways, because his exalted position as king of heaven was putting him in the darkness of ignorance. You have done him a very merciful favor by taking away all his opulence." Text 17. Material opulence is so bewildering that it makes even a learned, self-controlled man forget to search for the goal of self-realization. But the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, the Lord of the universe, can see everything by his will. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Text 18. Sukadev Goswami continued, "O King Parikshit, Lord Brahma then began to speak to the Supreme Personality of Godhead within the hearing of Prahalad Maharaj, who stood nearby with folded hands. Text 19. But Bali Maharaj's wife, afraid and aggrieved at seeing her husband arrested, immediately offered obeisances to Lord Vamandeva, Upendra. She folded her hands and spoke as follows. Text 20. Srimati Vidya Vali said, "O my Lord, you have created the entire universe for the enjoyment of your personal pastimes, but foolish, all-intelligent men have claimed proprietorship for material enjoyment. Certainly they are shameless agnostics, falsely claiming proprietorship. They think they can give charity and enjoy. In such a condition, what good can they do for you, who are the independent creator, maintainer, annihilator of this universe?" Text 21. Lord Brahma said, "O well-wisher and master of all living entities, O worshipable deity of all the demigods, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, now this man has been sufficiently punished, for you have taken everything. Now you can release him. He does not deserve to be punished more." Text 22. Bali Maharaj had already offered everything to your lordship. Without hesitation, he has offered his land, the planets, and whatever else he earned by his pious activities, including even his own body. Text 23. By offering even water, newly grown grass, or flower buds at your lotus feet, those who maintain no mental duplicity can achieve the most exalted position within the spiritual world. This Bali Maharaj, without duplicity, has now offered everything in the three worlds. How then can he deserve to suffer from arrest? Text 24. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Lord Brahma, because of material opulence, a foolish person becomes dull-witted and mad. Thus, he has no respect for anyone within the three worlds and defies even my authority. To such a person, I show special favor by first taking away all his possessions. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, all the assembled devotees, we have set humble obeisances. Today we are going to discuss wonderful Bhagavatam, Raman Dev and Bali Maharaj past time. And the wonderful thing is today even Prahlad Maharaj appeared yesterday. So we'll hear all those past times. Om Atman Sya Anandana Shanatana Kapchur and Tamana Vatsman Suru Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Paya Bhupana Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Mukhamana Namaste Saraswati Gaudavani Pracharya Vishnu Shashamava Vikashna. Yes, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Channel, the Sri Advaita Vedanta Srivasa Gaura Prabhupada Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaste Charanchana Naman Devi Transudin Vasan. Namaste Shabadri Sanattam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama. So, in the yesterday's session, we heard a wonderful Bhagavad Gita of how Bali Maharaj was surrendering his life from his Krishna Universe Prabhuji. Today we will continue the pastime. So from verse number 30 to verse number 24. So far, what we have heard in the 8th canto is that 8th canto is basically talking about the Manvantara Katha, the pastime about the creation, Visarga, the second creation. So we heard about the churning of milk ocean, how Lord Shiva saved the universe by drinking the poison, and we heard about the battle between Devatas and the demons, and how King Indra has annihilated demons, and how Mohini Avatar has bewildered Lord Shiva. And then we also heard that Bali Maharaja has actually, the time has switched to the demons' prominence. Now the Lord has favored demons, that demons took over, but headed by Bali Maharaj has taken over the heavenly kingdoms. All the three worlds are occupied by him, forcefully. And then her mother, Aditi performed, wife of Kashyapa, has performed Payovrata with the advice of her husband, and how Lord became his son, and then Lord Vamana Deva, the dwarf incarnation has appeared. And also we heard that how Vamana Deva, in the guise of being a Brahmana boy, he begs charity from Bali Maharaja. And Bali Maharaja has surrendered all the possessions he has, all that he has occupied the land to the Vamana Deva without hesitation. Despite of this, despite his spiritual master advising him not to, but still, because his spiritual master was not in line with the surrendering of the Supreme Lord is the ultimate religious principle, and that he is not aligned to that, so he had to reject his guru. So he, despite of his objection of his guru, Sukracharya, Bali Maharaja had surrendered himself and all his possessions to the Lord unconditionally. Bali Maharaja was arrested by the Lord, and with the help of so knowing what is in the heart of the Lord, Garuda actually, with a Varuna Pasha, he bounds Bali Maharaja. And now Bali Maharaja surrenders his life. In this chapter, we were discussing thus far that the Bali offers his head for as a third step. When Lord has occupied the entire universe with, with his universal form that he has exhibited, everything was everything, all the living entities, moving and non-moving, all the objects of this universe, all the planetary systems, including the sky, everything became part of his body. He actually covered the whole universe with his body. And with his first step, he covered Bhu, Bhuva, Maharlok, the whole, even with the second step, he covered even until all the upper planetary systems. And then the third step, he again resumed the form of Vamanadev Avatar, which is a dwarf form. And he asks, where do I put my third step? So you are a cheater. You said you need to go to hell for this because you promised to offer me third step, but you could not offer me third step. Then Bali Maharaj offers his head, put the third step on my head. So the Lord's punishment is for the spiritual benefit. For he is the well-wisher of the demons as well as demigods. So Bali wasn't ashamed of his position of being bound and insulted the Lord like this. He was not ashamed at all. Though we can witness from the way he spoke until verse number 7 that the exalted character of Bali, the real character of a person exhibited during a crisis, right? So Prahalada remained a devotee, he said. He was remembering his Pitamaha, his grandfather, Prahalad Maharaj, the exalted Prahalad Maharaj. And he reminded a devotee, despite the harassment of his father, because he knows the futility of material affairs, the infallible nature of the Lord Shankar, Bali was grateful for Vamana Deva's mercy. So at that time, Prahlad Maharaj arrives. In fact, we will start speaking with here what he speaks. We heard such a wonderful, beautiful characteristics of his appearance described in the 12th verse yesterday, where it is described that most dear Lord Prahlad Maharaj appeared there like a moon rising, like a full moon actually. Raka Patair Vimoktitaha. Just like how full moon appears on full moon day, like that Prahlad Maharaj appeared in the night time, and everything was pleasingly effulgent. His bodily effulgence was very pleasing to everyone. That's why he's compared with moon. And and the 13th verse. So Lord's dearest devotee, Lord Prahlad Maharaj is described as Lord's dearest devotee. Bhagavat Priya appeared there at that time. Right? And he was dark, tall, dressed in elegant yellow garments, and elegant with lotus eyes, long arms, and he was dear and pleasing to everyone. Essentially. Tamindras Sena Swapita Maham Shriya. So Indra Sena, the Bali Maharaj, who were persons with all the military force of Indradev, that Prahlad Maharaj, Tam Indra Sena, Tam indicates that Prahlad Maharaj. Swapita Maham Shriya. So Bali Maharaj could witness the beautiful features of Prahlad Maharaj when he appeared there. And when his body was resembling Anjana Tushan, his body was resembling the black ointment that we apply for the eyes. And Pralamba Bahum, has very long arms. And Subhaga Ushabham, he is the best of all auspicious persons. That's what he said, Aikshata. And 14th verse, Bali Maharaja couldn't offer befitting respects to the Prahlada due to being bound by ropes. He offered respects with his head. His eyes were filled with tears, and his face was lowered in shame. As you can see, Bali Maharaja was going through so many, it is being clearly described. The inability of Bali Maharaja to offer respects to his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj. And that's why, because he was bound, he offered offered respects with his head. Nanama Murdha Ashru Vilola Lochanaha. And his eyes were filled with tears. Vilol Lochanaha. And Savida Ninjina Mukho Bahuvaha. And he actually, his face was facing down. His face was lower. He was looking down. And that indicates he was ashamed to witness Prahlad Maharaj's presence there. Because he it would appear, it would appear as if Prahlad Maharaj, so the Bali Maharaj has committed some great offense. Otherwise, why would Vishnu bound him like that? That's what he is worried about. And so he felt ashamed. And it is also described, the other reason why Bali Maharaj was bowing his head down was he reminded of the Prahlad Maharaj teaching about not showing pride on the occasion of doing charity. He forgot that the teaching that Prahlad Maharaj given, what is the mood that one should have when performing the charity? That we should not act like we are the owner. We should the one who is receiving the charity is the one who is benefiting us. That is the mood we should have. And it is the opportunity given by the Lord so that I can share the grahastha, I could share the possessions that were given by Lord and just sharing to a Brahmana. That is the mood that Prahlad Maharaj expects. So Bali Maharaja thought he is the ruler of the three worlds and he is the owner of all the three worlds. Right? That mood, he felt ashamed as soon as Prahlad Maharaj appeared, because as soon as Prahlad Maharaj appeared, his wonderful character reminded of him of the wonderful characters of Prahlad Maharaj. Also, it reminded him of the lessons. That is how, when we see our Guru, we should, actually, when we see a Uttamadhikari, automatically with their characteristics that they exhibit, the way they deal with the world, we get inspired just by seeing them, just by seeing how they chant throughout the day. This is what I heard from Vanshiva, this place, Vanshiva. You know, Uttamadhikari, when we even see them, we feel like chanting. Now we feel like we do more service. This is what Bali Maharaj is also going to when he saw such an exalted devotee. And since Bali Maharaj had been arrested by Lord Vamanadeva, he was certainly to be considered an offender. Bali Maharaj seriously felt that he was an offender to the Supreme Person of God, and certainly Prahlad Maharaj would not like this. Therefore, Bali Maharaj was ashamed and hung his head. 15th verse, continuation of how the Prahlad Maharaj's arrival is continued to be described. Prahlad Maharaj was overwhelmed upon seeing the Lord with his associates, Lord's associates. He had tears of jubilation and his hair stood on end, and he offered obeisances to the Lord. Satatrahasina mudiksha satpatin. So, by witnessing Prahlad Maharaj, the Lord is seated there, is surrounded by Lord is surrounded by liberated souls, his associates, eternal associates. Harim Sunandadi Anugunair Upasitam. And it is mentioned Sunanda, Nanda, Jaya, Vijaya, they are all surrounding him. Upeta Bhumo Sirasa Mahamana. And Prahlad Maharaj approached near to the Lord where he was sitting. And he started offering dandavats. He fell on the ground, and Prahlad Maharaj is described as Mahamana, such an exalted Bhagavata, Mahabhagavata. Nanama Murdha Polakashru Vilklavaha. So Prahlad Maharaj is naturally overwhelmed by seeing the Lord. And he was shedding the tears of jubilation by seeing the Lord and his associates. It's not just that Prahlad Maharaj is only jubilant to see only the Lord. He's jubilant to see his associates also. And I'll discuss some, I was just making some personal realizations on this verse. We can probably discuss after we have enough time at the end. So Prahlad Maharaj, and then after Prahlad Maharaj has arrived, he starts endorsing Vamanadev's punishment in this verse, in 16th verse. You saved Bali Maharaja, Prahlad Maharaj said, my lord, it is you who gave Vayaiva Dattam, heaven to the Bali Maharaj. You are the one who gave heaven to the Bali Maharaj. And it is you who has now taken it back. Prutam Tadeva. In both the situations, oh dear Lord, you are equally merciful. Anugraha. You are showing Anugraha only. By taking away all of Bali's opulences, we have saved him from bewilderment of mind. Atmamohana. What was that bewilderment? He was indicating the pride. Bewilderment caused by money. So wealth is the biggest cause of the bewilderment in life, and because wealth follows by pride. So Prahlad said, you do not take away you do not take away from Bali Maharaj. What is his? He owns nothing. Simply taken back what is originally yours, oh Lord. That is a proper act. That is how Prahlad Maharaj has endorsed Lord's act. The binding Bali Maharaj. Right? Prahlad Maharaj said, Tvayeva Dattam, you are the one who has given him the heavenly kingdom. Padamaindra Murjitam, Prutam Tadeva. You are the one taking it back. Ajyata Thaiva Shobhanam. Both are auspicious because you are the one who is uh, involved in this act. Manye. I consider, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Manye Mahan Ashrak Kruto Hyanugraho. Both of these your acts are both are out of your cordless mercy. Vibhamshito yat shiraya atma mohana, and you are protecting him from the. So I consider it as your protection only. It is the mercy of the Lord that one gets all material opulence, but if all such material opulence causes one to become puffed up and forget the process of self-realization, the Lord certainly takes all the opulence away. Yasyaham anugruhnami harishye tad dhanam chanaihi. So this is the verse spoken by Lord Krishna to Yudhishthira Maharaj in 10th Canto, 88th chapter. So the Lord, so Lord bestows mercy on a devotee to help him find out his constitutional point. For that purpose, the Lord is ready to help a devotee in every way. But if material opulence is sometimes dangerous because when it diverts one's attention, devotee's attention, to false prestige by giving one impression that he is the owner and master of everything he surveys, although actually he is not the fact. To protect a devotee who is in that situation from such misunderstanding, Lord sometimes shows special mercy by taking away his material possessions. That's what we describe here in this part 4. Material opulence is so bewildering, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, that it makes even a learned, self-controlled man forget to pursue the goal, the thing of self-realization. Yayahi vidwan api muhyate yatas, even if he is the most learned self, in the Vedic literatures, it doesn't matter. He gets bewildered. Tad kovi vichachaste gatim atmano yatha. And as soon as one, material opulence is so bewildering that it makes even a learned, self-controlled man forget to search for the goal of self-realization. They will forget self-realization goal in life because of the wealth. The intoxication of the wealth creates is so dangerous. Tasmai namaste jagadishvara vai. And he's saying, but Narayana, the Lord of the universe, Jagadishvara, is the witness of everything. Akhila Loka Sakshini, and I offer respect unto him. You can witness being in his heart. You can witness what Bali Maharaj was going through in his heart. You can sense the pride that he might have. because you are Jagadishwara and you got Akhila Loka Sakshini, because you can witness everything. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is saying. The words Ko Vikshate Gatimatmano Yatha indicate that when one is puffed up by false prestige of possessing material opulence, he certainly neglects the goal of self-realization. Right? Gatim Atmano Yatha, the goal of one's self. So, so-called scientific improvements, and people have entirely given up the path of self-realization. People are so busy inventing, researching. Prabhupada is saying, no one is interested in God, and everybody says, "I am busy." If you ask them to, if you ask them to come to temple, read about the Lord's teachings in Bhagavad Gita, everybody has an excuse: "I am busy." And nobody is interested to learn the one's relationship with God and how to act also. They don't want to know from the scriptures. So modern men have forgotten such questions: how to act, how should one re-establish his relationship with God. No, modern men have stopped asking such questions to himself because they're mad for material possessions. Prabhupada says, if this continues, Srila Prabhupada says, the time will come soon when Supreme Personality of Godhead will take away all the material opulences and people will come to their senses. 18th and 20th, 19th verse, you can see Brahma was about to speak. Vinjavali was also speaking now about, to the Lord. And you can hear that Vinjavali actually starts reproaching her husband Bali Maharaj in these verses. In 18 to 19, Brahma was about to speak to the Lord Vamana within hearing of Prahlad Maharaj. But Bali's chaste wife, Vinjavali, was afraid and aggrieved to see her husband arrested because she started folding her hands and spoke as follows. The Brahma remained silent out of respect for Vinjavali. And he saw that she was willing to speak something out of emotion. So even though Brahma was willing to talk, he took a step back. So Bali Maharaj's intelligent wife Vinjavali supports her husband's arrest. You can see in this verse. Reproaches Bali for having no intelligence because he has claimed proprietorship of Lord's property. That's why she was rebuking him in this verse. So in the 19th verse, Bhaddam Vikshapatim Sadhvi Vinjavali has witnessed Bali Maharaja being bound. Tat Patni Vayavihvala, and she was very disturbed by the fear. Pranjali Pranatopendram, she offered obeisances, Upendram, to the Vamana Deva. Bhabhase Avan Mukhin Rupa, and she is also looking down and speaking to the Lord. Her face was also looking down. She is also feeling guilty and ashamed. And what was she speaking is, as you can witness how Brahma, though he was willing to speak, he backed off by seeing Vinjavali. We can understand how one exalted devotee like Brahma, not Brahma, has exhibited a characteristic of Jihva Vegam Udaropasta Vegam. Urge to say something, right? It's very difficult to control. And when we understand from the etiquette of Lord Brahmaji, Brahma remained silent out of respect for Vinjavali. We can learn something in our life that when situations such as these arise, we should be able to control an urge to speak something, even in office meetings, anyway. And 20th verse talks about fools claim proprietorship over the Lord's property. Vinjavali is saying, "Oh Lord, you have created the universe for your pastime, but foolish, shameless, Kshatriyas, agnostics claim proprietorship over it for their enjoyment." Agnostic means more like a atheist who neither believes nor disbelieves Lord. someone who is in the middle. They just are okay, whether he's there or not there, I don't care. So these agnostic people, they claim proprietorship over anything for their enjoyment. I think, and she is saying, Bali Maharaj, indicating that Bali Maharaj is such an agnostic person, and think of themselves as a doers, Kratruvada, or donors. If Bali Maharaj is thinking he is the greatest donor, that's what he's thinking, that's what she's pointing out. What good can they do for you? The creator, maintainer, and destroyer of the universe. Oh Lord, you are the creator, maintainer, and what good can these kind of agnostic people do for you or anyone per se in this universe? And she points out that Devatas are officials appointed by you for universal management. They are attached to material enjoyment, but they don't claim to be proprietor of all the planetary systems. They know that you are the actual proprietor, but these demons, headed by Bali Maharaj, instead of accepting the proprietorship of the Lord, they claim the property of the universe is for themselves, and also they claim that they are donating in charity. How obnoxious. So Vinjavali is pointing and saying that Bali is in ignorance. She's accusing Bali that although he was offering his body to the Lord Vamanadeva for the third step, he was still in ignorance because even the body did not belong to him, but to the Supreme Lord. But because his long-standing demonic mentality, Bali could not understand this. So Vinjavali prayed that her husband to be released by the Lord's godless mercy. Now Vinjavali is erasing the kindness in the Lord's heart by because seeing her, the Lord will exhibit kindness. That's why she is begging to release her husband. Otherwise, Bali was nothing but a, she said, otherwise, Bali was nothing but a shameless demon, a foolish person claiming proprietorship over the Lord's property. So you can see, after Prahlada and Vinjavali pleased Lord Vamanadeva by spiritual statements, now Lord Brahma starts speaking in the next verse, from 21st verse. And let's see what actually what Vinjavali spoke. Kattu prabhos tavakim asatya avahante chatta hriyas. They have, then she's saying chatta hriyas. Bali has become shameless. Vad avaropita kraturvada. And she's saying that he's falsely imposing, avaropita, falsely imposing because of the foolish fund of knowledge, katruvada, the proprietorship of such, of all the, he's thinking he's the proprietor of all the three planetary systems. Like that, she was saying in this verse of, and you can see in the next verse. And also, I was thinking when I was reading this verse, how it shows, this incident shows how a demonic mentality, false proprietorship is such a demonic mentality, and it does not respect. Let's forget about the spiritual progress that we need to make in our life, but even in material terms also, it is considered a demonic mentality to have a false proprietorship. I'm claiming something as mine, which is not mine. And it does not attract respect of even a chaste wife, even a materialistically considered a chaste wife also will not respect such a husband when he has such a false proprietorship. So regardless how heroic he is in worldly calculations, Bali Maharaj is hero actually for all the three worlds. For such a person, wife is not respecting because he had that false proprietorship. So Bali is so concerned about his fame more than his life. Considering this as a fact, still he's being criticized by his own wife. So false proprietorship is a very, very demonic mentality. We own nothing. Right? And Lord Brahma's appeal to Lord Vamanadeva, we can hear from verse number 21. And please release Bali. Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha Deva Deva Jaganmaya, like that. Praise God. And when Lord Brahma saw that Prahlad Maharaj and Vinjavali had already approached the Lord to ask mercy of Bali Maharaj, he joined them and recommended Bali Maharaj's release on the grounds of worldly calculations. What did Lord Brahma say? Bali offered you everything. Nivedityam cha sarvasvam. He had earned his pious acts, including his own body with no hesitation in mind. He offered everything to you. Aviklavaya dhya. Now, glory of, we know the glory of offerings to you. Brahma is speaking in 23rd verse. By offering you even a water, grass, or flower buds, a sincere person without duplicity attains Vaikuntha. But Bali offered all three worlds to you without duplicity. Aviklavamana. How can he be deserving such a suffering from arresting? You bound him. How can you do that? Lord Vamanadeva explains to Brahma about his inconceivable mercy on people that manifests in various ways in the next verse. Right? So now, so far we heard that Vinjavali spoke about Vinjavali endorsed the Lord's punishment. Even Prahlad Maharaj also endorsed. Now Brahmaji is speaking for Bali Maharaj. So Brahma is speaking for Bali Maharaj. Brahma drew the Lord's attention to the subject and requested his release of Bali Maharaj. That it is not befitting to punish such a surrendered soul. Vamana Deva's exceptional mercy on Bali Maharaj can be understood from the next few verses. Poverty is the Lord's mercy. Lord is saying, a dull-minded stabdo, a person puffed up madaha with material opulence, has no respect for anyone and defies even my authority. I favor such a person by taking away all his possessions. Usually, somebody who is stabdo, that means as dull-minded, somebody who is puffed up with a mada, you can refer, if this stabda is such a bad quality, it is mentioned by Lord Shiva, if you remember, it's a dangerous characteristic to have. And Shiva mentions to Parvati about Daksha when he offended him. In that verse, he says, because such a person who has this tabda characteristic of dull-mindedness, he loses his good sense and cannot appreciate the glories of great personalities also, and he will deride even great personalities. That is the danger. Lord doesn't want Bali Maharaj to fall into that danger, so he protected him by bounding him. Now, what is the second dangerous offense Lord is trying to protect? Mada. What is that mada? Kunti Maharani says, Janmaishwarya Sutta Shribhir Edamadam Mada Puman. All these material qualifications, Janma, Aishwarya, Sutta, Shribhir, great education, aristocratic, but what it will do? It will create mada, intoxicate a person, and it will take away a person from Krishna. That dangerous offense also Lord is trying to protect Bali from. That's why the first verse spoke by Lord is saying, Yanmadaha Purusha Stabdo Loka Mam Chava Manyate. So Brahman Gyan Anugrunani. It is my mercy. That's why I am trying to prevent him not to fall on those two characteristics and protecting him from this. So this is all the mercy of the Lord. It is not a punishment of the Lord. That is for today, dear devotees. Thank you so much. And I apologize for going a little overboard today. And Krishna, to around the devotees. Canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Thank you so much, Srimad. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your association and beautiful time. Thank you all devotees for joining.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.